Well, hey, and welcome to another episode of Beetle Dustino coming at you today with yet another video. I'm trying some different stuff here. I don't know. We are going to today continue on my series of my Paul McCartney vinyl collection, which will lead into my Beatles vinyl collection and so forth and so on. I've just decided I've been showing so much of like what's on the rack. I'm showing all my CD collection. I think a lot of people don't think I got vinyl. I do got vinyl. The last episode we did the 70s, and this episode will be the 80s. But before we do get started with that, I do want to thank all my subscribers and thanks to any new subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And do hit the notification bell so you know when I got new videos coming out, like the next vinyl collection or what's on the rack or what's in the box. And also please give the video a like. It really does help out the channel. And do leave a comment. I love having a discussion with everybody. But let's get on with this next video. So yeah, we did the 70s in the last one, kind of the classic 70s, I guess we're going to say, because with some other reissues I got coming up here, I do got those kind of separated out. So kind of the classic 70s, and I'm going to do kind of the classic 80s next. So we got a few albums here. I think this will just be a nice little pace, just kind of breaking it down like this, so it's not just so overwhelming in these massive long videos. Yeah, we're going to start with the 80s. And of course, if we're looking at Paul McCartney, if we're starting the 80s, that means we're starting with McCartney 2. We did McCartney for starting the 70s, and we're doing McCartney 2 to start the 80s. But there's the cover, and the spine, the back, and the gatefold. And this jacket is in tremendous shape. I know it's not quite as old as some of those 70s ones, so that maybe does help it out some, but this is in really good shape. And I do believe this is an original pressing. Here we got the inner sleeve. I suppose that's the back of it. There's the front. Or is it? I don't know. Something like that. But yes, we do got the inner sleeve. Of course, here in the US, this was on the Columbia label. I believe this was his first one on the Columbia label, so there we go. There's side 1, and there's side 2. And unique to this one, and I thought it was the US albums that had this. I don't know if the UK you got this with it. And it's only certain ones I found out had this as a little bonus with it. 7-inch single of Coming Up, the live version. There it is on that Columbia Records label. And that's side 1. Well, or the only side, because side 2 is just a blank side. There's nothing there. I believe it even says that there. Play other side, yes. The funny thing about this little bugger too, I didn't even notice it when I first bought it that it was in there, and I played this record several times before, and I even played it and sat there with the jacket, looking at it, looking at the gatefold, looking at everything, and somehow never figured out that this was in there until about maybe the third or fourth time I played it. And I'm like, what is this in the jacket here? What is this doing? And I pull out this guy, so I actually had this with it. And this one, I know for sure I picked up at Budget Music in Grand Forks here. That's where I got this one. Up next, we do got Tug of War. Again, another one in really great shape. And I really held out for a long time on this. It seemed I could not find one in good shape for so long. I could find it very easily, but not one in good shape. But there is the front. And I kind of already showed you the back, but there's the spine. And we'll show the back a little better this time. I forgot I had a story going there, and I started to flip it over. I try not to talk so I can edit it the correct way. But there's the back. Here is the inner sleeve, and the back of the inner sleeve, and side 1 of the vinyl, and side 2. I did really hold out well on this because this is a fantastic copy. Everything I'm seeing, looking at it again, especially right now, this is a gorgeous copy of it. And it seemed like everyone I was finding locally was really beat up. And I believe this one I got at Electric Fetus in Minneapolis. I'm pretty sure on that. So I remember I was shocked how good a shape it was. And I'm like, oh, different city, much better shape on Tug of War there. And up next, we got Pipes of Peace. So there is the front, the spine, and the back. And this one is kind of unique, so I'm going to show you a couple ways on this. We will look at the gatefold next, but because the cover of this really goes front and back, I'll show you it all spread out here. So there we go. Then we got the inner sleeve up next, and I believe most of these are original pressings on this. This one, though, looking at the label, I'm thinking it might not be. I'll have to double check that, or it could be. So it's on this Columbia label, this kind of darker red and gold Columbia label on side 1. And then side 2 does have the kind of custom label. So I don't know, maybe this is a first pressing. Very kind of unique on that. That Columbia label is really different on it too. And this one too, I'm having a hard time remembering where I did pick this up. I think it was at Budget Music. I'm pretty sure I'd put money on that. I don't know why. Some of these I can totally remember and some of them I'm totally forgetting. So up next, we do got Give My Regards to Broad Street. There is the front and the spine and the back and the gatefold. And of course, we do got the inner sleeve, front and the back. And we're back to Parlophone records on this one, but there is the custom label on side 1 here and side 2. I think I got that up right. Yep. And also another one in really great shape here. I'm really shocked. My inner sleeve, though, is kind of coming apart, but everything else is really good. And this one I know 100% for sure too. I got at Budget Music. The other ones I'm forgetting. This one though I remember for sure. So I remember how clean this was, and I kind of walked by it quite a few times. It was about maybe the 4th or 5th time I knew that this was there that I finally picked it up. But yeah, I just kept looking at how great a shape it was in, and plus I really wasn't seeing it at too many other places. So I figured this one was in such great shape, might as well get it. And then up next we got Press to Play. This is such a great cover. It really doesn't match the album, but it's still a great photo and everything. And I love the kind of matte finish on it too. That's really good. And there is the spine. And there's the back. Now this matches the album. Here's the gatefold. Kind of this electronic experimental album. This looks right. This doesn't. Of course, there is the inner sleeve. First side there, the front side, and the back. And there is side 1 of the vinyl, and side 2, this time showing a Capitol Records label on it. And this one I specifically remember I got at antique store here in my local hometown here. Yeah, I remember it was this and a couple other records I picked up there that day. And this one I've really been researching, trying to figure out if everything is legit on it. I'm really surprised I found it locally, but it is Choba BCCCP. I had to do that slow because I always miss a C otherwise. But yeah, this one I did find locally. I did get this at Budget. I guess I'll have that up there early this time. And they had 2 there that day. I was really kind of surprised. And I wasn't sure if they were legit or not. But there is the front. This spine on this one's going to be hard to see because this jacket is so thin. And then there is the back. And I guess we could just call it the Russian album, I guess. Make it easier on this Choba BCCCP. See, I almost missed the C. See, I almost missed the C. How about that? But everything I've been seeing, this is a legit Russian copy, and it was a reissue of 1989. The back here on the jacket does say 88. I don't know if you can see that, but the label on the record does say 89, as you'll see soon. Now, and I don't know if this is what should come with it, but it is in this plain white inner sleeve. And from all my research on Discogs, this is a pretty unique label on it because it's got that kind of skyline view in it. The red label seems to be the most common, and you can see that 1989 on there. But yeah, it's got that skyline on there. But yeah, everything I see, it does look legit on that. I mean, and the way that the record feels and everything, I'd say it's legit. If you are an expert on this, let me know, please, because I'm just going based off of what I can kind of match up on Discogs. And Discogs has got me pretty secure feeling that this is a legit copy, but I don't know. And there was a second one at Budget that day. I hope it's still there because I might still pick it up because that one's a white label one. And it's a little different on the label on it. And I don't remember if it's the yellow back or not. I think it's the white back on the jacket. Yeah, it was a little more expensive, and this one was, and it also seemed a little more worn where this one was in a little better shape. So that was kind of why I went this way. Plus, I really like that label. That label looked cool. But overall, I'd say this is in pretty good shape considering. I mean, if this did come all the way from Russia to the United States and somehow ended up in North Dakota, I mean, that's quite a bit of traveling for this old record here. And yeah, Budget was definitely where I got this one. And up next, we got Flowers in the Dirt. Such a great cover on this one. So different, though, from all of his other covers. But yeah, there was the front, the spine, and the back. And this one does got this insert, Flowers in the Dirt. There's the front of that and the back of it. And the inside with the song info in that. And it is kind of a plain inner sleeve, but it's just this yellow, bright yellow inner sleeve. Front and back there. And that custom label, Capitol on this one. There's side 1 and side 2. But yeah, there was my 80s Paul McCartney vinyl collection I've got so far. I am, of course, missing All the Best. I never got a copy of that yet. I believe, yeah, Tripping the Life Fantastic would have came out in the 80s, but I have not found a copy of that yet. I've not found a copy of the standard one. I have found a copy of the highlights, and I've been up and down on picking it up because it's sealed. The one that I keep finding is sealed, and it's a little expensive, and I'd rather find a nice copy of the full one, but one of these days I'll break down and probably buy that if it's still available. And I did forget to say my Flowers in the Dirt copy there was from Budget also. I do remember that specifically. That was also from Budget. So it seemed like Budget has really done me well for the 1980s on Paul McCartney. And they've all been in pretty good shape too, so, and not terribly expensive either, so I've done well on that. However, I haven't done well on the 90s or the 2000s, so we're totally skipping that because the only thing I got from there is reissues, and even at that I'm still missing quite a few as they haven't really reissued much of it. So you'll see the reissues coming up, but the next episode will be my 2010s, which even that I'm missing quite a few of, or at least two, I guess two of those. But yeah, we'll get, well, the 2010s and 2020s, I guess. So yeah, there we go. That'll be the next episode coming up, and it'll be a lot of just two albums. Well, three albums, but two really is going to be the majority of it. But anyways, I am going to get wrapping up, and before I do totally get wrapping up, I am going to say thank you to all my subscribers, and especially the new subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and do hit the notification bell so you know when I got the next episode of my entire McCartney collection, or Beatles, or all the other artists there. And then also, please give the video a like. It really does help out the channel, and if you stuck around to this point, you must like it, so please give it a like. And do leave a comment. I love having a discussion with everybody. Also, I've been mentioning I do have the contest going for the vinyl community, the 1 in 7 contest celebrating my 1 year on YouTube and pushing for 700 subscribers. So the 1 part will be just shout out between 1 and 7 other YouTubers, and the 7 part will be, or should we do 7 part? So yeah, that part will be to answer 7 questions I got. I've got a link to the original video in the description here, so please check that out. Please get your submissions in. It's a $40 Amazon gift card. The contest is running between August 12th and September 29th. Yeah, so please get your submissions in. I really want this to be a big contest. I want see a lot of videos on it, and I think this is one of my first contests I've ran, so really want to get active in the vinyl community. So please enter into the contest here. But I am truly going to get wrapping up. Hey, I didn't really ramble on this time. Wow, I'm doing good. Now I'm rambling. Ramble on. All right. Always got to bring Led Zeppelin into it lately. All right. But I am truly going to get signing out. I am Beetle Dustino, signing out.